Good morning, all. My name is Sharad Agarwal. I'm the CEO of CyberGear and founder of onlywebinars.com. I'm pleased to welcome you to today's webinar. And I have with me our speaker, Luisa Gonzalez. She represents Swapcard and is in charge of mid-market sales. Good morning, Luisa.
Good morning, everyone. It is a pleasure being here with you.
Yeah, before I hand it over to you, Luisa, I just want to introduce the topic to our audience. We selected this topic because, hybrid events clearly are going to be part of the next normal. And if you look at some of the statistics around us, Zoom increased its revenue by 367% in the last 18 months. If you look at Google's trend data, virtual events was the most searched term in 2020. And this year, it is hybrid events. So you can clearly see the shift from virtual events to hybrid events. And that is because there are a lot of advantages of hosting hybrid events. First one, you can reach a larger audience across continents. To give you an example, tomorrow morning, we are hosting a webinar called What's Next. We have panelists from New York, Paris, Berlin, Dubai, all possible because of the world that we live in and because of the technology that's available. And we are not limited by size of a physical room in terms of the participants and attendees. You can have as many people you choose to. Second most important point I want to emphasize about hybrid events is the kind of audience engagement that you can have. And you will see that in today's webinar on how Swapcard provides you these kind of tools that help in audience engagement and measurement. And of course, the third important point of hybrid events is the fact that you can have longevity, you can record them, you can have podcasts, and you can increase the ROI of your events with lower costs and larger reach. And I think now is the appropriate time for all brands to leverage tech and use it effectively to grow their network and empower their community. So today's topic is how you can build a community with Swapcard. And I'm going to hand it over to Luisa to take this forward. She's going to talk to you for the next 30 minutes, I believe. And then we'll go into a Q&A session and we'll be happy to take your questions through chat or the Q&A tab. So over to you, Luisa.
Hi, thank you. Hi again, everyone. I'm Luisa Gonzalez, and I've been working with Swapcard and event organizers for around 3 years. And I've been working in international sales for the past 5 or 6 years. And so today I'm going to present you Swapcard. The idea is that I'm talking about a little bit about community and what the future of events are. And of course, showing Swapcard to you. So can you see my screen?
Yes.
Perfect. Let me see if I can put it into the full screen mode. Can you see me in full screen mode?
Perfect.
Super. So what do we do at Swapcard pretty quickly? We are an end-to-end AI-powered and event community platform for virtual, hybrid, and on-site events. Because as Harvard said, the idea is that the world is changing the way of doing communities, events, and to get in touch with people. It is pretty different. So we're here to be there with you and support you in whatever plans you have. Some of the success stories that we have from virtual, hybrid, and also, mostly virtual and hybrid events are SOAR 2020, we have South by Southwest, we have Informatech events, we have People Matters, STEP Conference, we have Confex that we just did last week. We have GITEX, and we have a lot of amazing events that are working with us. So going back to the subject, so COVID, of course, has changed the way we all have been working, the way that we're all having connections and meetings and interactions with everyone. Now, we don't want to get out of our homes. We know that by the end, but with our computers, we can get everywhere and we can get in touch, as we were saying, with everyone in the world. And it gives us the possibility to interact with people all around the world, not only people, but companies, content, and being in touch with specific people that we want to build our relationships with. So other companies are doing it, everyone is doing it. Google, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter. We all have models and sites where we have contact within communities the whole time, 365. And the idea is that the internet, of course, it is the primary mode of distribution of music information, exchanges, networking. And the idea is that your events become the same thing, that they become an environment, a known environment for your group of attendees to be able to interact the whole year long. The idea with the communities is that, of course, as you know it, people come to learn to your events, to know what is happening, to see the trends, see the industry, what is going on. They want to learn, but they not only want to learn, but they want to meet with the right people, with the right attendees. And this is super useful in hybrid or virtual events. Why? Because we are able to choose who are we going to make these connections with, and we have to use the tools that we have to make it easier for us. Of course, it is not only knowledge and it is not only meeting exciting new people, but it is also about getting new leads and measuring your ROI, and not only your ROI, but the ROI of your exhibitors and your sponsors. It is no longer the, I don't know how many people I've met in your event, so I don't know if it's really worth for me to come next year. But the idea is that you give them 365 days of visibility, and that you're going to be able to measure the interactions that they have with your attendees. So you will have statistics and you will be able to know which content is working, how are people interacting with each other, what are the main points and focus for them to go to your event. And also we have your exhibitors and sponsors with whom you can really understand what is happening and give them tools to increase the interactions with the specific leads that they want to have contact with. So the idea with the communities is, of course, profit from the on-site part, have face-to-face, the ability to touch and feel products, to do demo products, but not only having that experience, that one-to-one physical experience, but to increase it in a virtual way where you can have an all year round catalog book where you can find or search for or look for what you are really looking for. Sorry for the repetition. But find specific content for you and for your goal of being in that community. And of course, being online, it means that you can be at the point of your fingers the whole year round. And measure, of course, all of the interactions that are happening into your events. So I want to show you Swapcard in real. And I want to tell you our story about Evolve. So when the pandemics came, Swapcard was going to crash. We thought that actually if we were not going to pivot fast enough for the COVID environment, we were going to die. And that is what we did. So we started building our online interface, not interface because it has all been already built in computer and also mobile, but now we had to pivot to the only virtual world. And this is how we started it. This is how we made our first step. So Evolve was created 2 years ago, and it was our first virtual event. The idea of Evolve, we thought that we were going to have around 1,500 attendees, 2,000 attendees at the most. And the first year of Evolve, we were at 5,000, 6,000 attendees. It was amazing. It was a complete success. And we decided that Evolve was not going to be only one event of the year, but we made it actually a series of events that every single month. So we have our community in our platform. What does that mean? That means that I can have contact. We're not longer 6,000 attendees or 6,000 members community, but we are already at 10,000 event organizers. And so what we allow them to do in Swapcard and with Evolve is that we can help them interact with the best attendees or the most important people that they want to interact with. How do we do it? We can see the list of all of the attendees of the community, and we activate our artificial intelligence. That artificial intelligence, according to my profile and according to all of the interactions that I have with the platform, it will suggest the most important people for me to meet. Of course, I can see the whole list. I can also see who is online or not, so I know who I can have a direct contact with. Or if not, I can use our filters, and our filters can be as specific as you want according to the type of events, according to the people going to your events, or according to the goals, so they can be modified. Let's say, for example, that I want to meet Minu. With Minu, I have different possibilities of connecting with her. I can contact her by chat, or I can also call her. I can see all of the information about her profile. Her profile is not that complete, but the idea is that we can add as many information so we can have a better profile for us to match. We can see that she's working in Swapcard and also all of the different sessions that she's attending to. We also created, so as we are a community, we have events going into the future. So we do show what is going to happen in the future, and we let you subscribe to the sessions. See what is going to happen into the sessions. Let me open this one. And so with the sessions that are going into the future, you can subscribe to them, you can talk to other attendees, you can see who are the exhibitors that are involved into those sessions. So you can give your exhibitors and sponsors extra visibility and the possibility for them to create and contact directly the attendees and the public. Talking about partners or exhibitors, we at Swapcard believe that your community and your events should be monetized. Why? Because your exhibitors and the sponsors are the ones who are getting the most probability to have contact with your attendees, so get a database, have extra visibility of your brand by either having contact directly with your attendees, creating sessions, putting on banners on sessions, and also have extra visibility around the event and around the interactions that attendees are creating. So for us, we created also a way for you to monetize the event, where you can give your exhibitors extra visibility, lower or higher, depending on the packages that you created, and also different way to talk and connect. With Swapcard, exhibitors and attendees have the possibility to chat with each other directly. They can also start video calls directly if you allow them to. And the idea with the companies, as with the attendees or other members of the communities, is that you can see absolutely all of the information, contact details, social media. You can see other companies that are attached to them, see and show all of the products and services that they're offering, all of the content that they're also producing, because it is super important if you're having and creating a community. The content is the basics is going to be the basis and what is going to attract people to come and look for more. So not only you can create content in a community level, but you can give your exhibitors and sponsors the possibility for them to give you a hand and make part in the creation of the content. And of course, seeing all of the sessions that are related to that specific company. Not only sessions, but they can also attach videos or important material that they want your attendees to be able to download. According to the products and or services that they can show, let me open one, for example, and it's right into the subject, the community platform. So the idea is that your exhibitors and also you can give the attendees all of the contents in their hands, products, services, webinars that you're doing, that everything would be in one place. Within the digital gallery that we have made for Evolve, we have the products and services, not only from Swapcard, but products and services for our also partners. We have also created one session of prizes and giveaways. So of course, the idea is not only come and see products and services, but for you to increase interactions between attendees and also content. So we have created games and gamifying the interactions where you can win specific games and where we measure your interactions, for example, clicks, or interactions with other attendees, with content and with exhibitors. So we can specifically measure some of the actions that we want to get repeated into the attendees and give them to them in vouchers or gift deliveries or for memberships. And we also take advantage, as we have a lot of type of events. One beautiful thing about Swapcard is that we can actually use the platform to go ahead and use it for every type of event. So the Evolve is an amazing event because we have our partners, we have our schedule, we have our on-demand content, but we also have a part where Swapcard is also actively looking for new talents. We use also the products and services to show what we're looking for as a job board. So if you have events where you have, where your partners are looking for new talents, or where, for example, schools that they're looking for new members to their schools, you can put it in this way. I have also talked about on-demand content. So the idea is that you can create new content and we give them to our community every single month. But all of the content that we have already created, first Evolve that we did, and the second Evolve, first Evolve that we did in 2020, and the second version of Evolve that we did in 2021, you will always see it in there. And the idea is that when we open sessions or on-demand contents, we will be able to see and create specific tracks or specific subjects so we can really guide our attendees. And by opening the sessions, let me mute this. By opening the sessions, we can share with the attendees and we can give them the possibility to chat and also ask questions. Every attendee in Swapcard will be able to create their own agenda. So we're not only going to have the experience of the event, how to relate with attendees and exhibitors, but we are the owners of our own event as attendees. So in my event, I will be able to see all of the people that I have connected with directly. I can talk to them, I can call them, we can create multiple people video calls. So in case, for example, we have interest with 2 or 3 more people and we want to have a direct call, you can allow your attendees to do that. Everyone will create their own agenda. so we won't forget what we have already planned. The excitement of the event when you start planning and seeing all of the sessions, it is amazing. But if you don't have reminders of what is coming up, you will miss it because as we live in our computers, we can get distracted by everything. So super important to have a pretty strong communication plan. Communication plan with emails, communication plan with pop-ups, with notifications, not only on the computer, but also on the phone. It will get your attendees engaged. Not only to the sessions that we schedule, but also to the meetings that we schedule. Sometimes we're running back and forth, or we are having one call, we're looking at one session, but in here in Swapcard, you will get the notifications and you will be able to call the people directly from the application. I will be able to be in touch with the most important content that I have marked, companies, videos, schedules, things that I have marked as favorites that I will be having at the tip of my fingers. And I don't know if you have seen this, but in here, as we were looking at one session and we run through other types of contents, we always have our picture-in-picture. So we can see what is happening, what will happen, talk to the other attendees, and also keep looking at the session and the content that I have been here for. So I wanted to show you Evolve because it is a great experience of how to create community. From one event where we expected 1,500 attendees, in 2 years, we have built up a community of more than 10,000 people, community, evolvers. And I invite you to join us because you will have all of the content at the tip of your fingers. You will be able to see what is coming up next. And also our partners are getting extra visibility. For the community that we're building in the future, this is the platform that we have right now that is ongoing. But for what we're planning in the future, the idea is that you will be able to have and showcase all of your events into the same platform. So we will have Evolve. We will always give our partners extra visibility so you can increase your ROI. Give the visibility to the speakers, all of the products and services, important information and content that we're going to have. Your exhibitors will be able to get in touch with your attendees 365. We will be able, again, to see your profiles and all of the important information. See the sessions, subscribe to the sessions, content in the future, but also being able to see past content. And being able to interact with attendees and companies. So this is a pretty quick view of Swapcard, what we do, how can we interact with content exhibitors, and also with a community level where you can see how people can interact with people and also find the correct person to interact with.
Right. Thank you, Luisa. Can I just ask you a couple of questions based on your presentation so far?
Of course, please do.
Yeah. My first question is, as an event organizer, how much training do I require before I can start using Swapcard?
How much screening? How much training with Swapcard?
Yeah.
So that is an amazing question because Swapcard, we have built it to be pretty simple. As you can see it is pretty straightforward for the attendees, but not only for the attendees. I can access my studio in here, which is where we're going to do the build up of the event. And I will give you a pretty quick view of it. It is as simple as click on edit and changing all of the content. So as it is straightforward with the attendees, it will be straightforward for the exhibitors. The idea with Swapcard is that we don't leave you alone. Into this platform, you will have basic support that you will be talking either with a chatbot or with our specific people, support people. They will give you amazing support and guidance, and we also have trainings every single week for event organizers to start using Swapcard. But we also have the personalized support. Personalized support, it is with the project manager. The idea with the project manager is that they will give you, of course, all of the tools to manage Swapcard, but not only that, but they will give you tips and tricks to understand what is happening with the platform and how can the platform interact the specific I'm sorry for the construction right next to me. I came back and apparently they're tearing up the building. So to wrap up the question, Swapcard is pretty simple to set up, but still we will never leave you alone. You can have basic support or personalized support. And the idea is that as we are also event experts, we will not leave you alone and we will guide you.
All right, thank you for that. And there's a question from the audience, and it says, how does Swapcard work in terms of authenticity of profiles and correctness of contact information? And second part is, how do you protect personal information of members given the privacy laws, especially in Europe, that are so strict?
Yeah. So how do we create profiles in Swapcard? We have attendees, and the attendees will be creating their profiles thanks to all of the registration questions that we have asked. And based on that, we will be creating their profiles. And so when we create the profiles, we will know who is every single person, and we will identify them by the email address that we have from the database. After having that email address, we will be sending emails. So every single attendee will get specific emails according to the group to where they are. For example, we can create simple attendees, free attendees, VIP attendees, and to every category, we can create different communications for them. Every single attendee will get into their emails. I am so sorry for this. And every single attendee will get emails, and everyone will get a magic link for every single participant. Once Luisa clicks on my magic link, I will be redirected to my profile where I know it's me, and I will create a password. This will prove and this will help the attendee secure their accounts. What happens with security? We are huge about security, and I don't know if you have heard about Black Hat. Black Hat is one of the biggest conferences of the world in actually security, online security, and we are their platform. So we're being tested every single week to make sure that our parameters of security are super good, that nobody can get into the platform, and that actually only the person that has the email plus the password will be able to match with every specific profile and get into their specific information.
Right. Okay, cool. Also, Luisa, you mentioned that your platform uses AI. So where are you using artificial intelligence in this platform?
Yes. So artificial intelligence is mostly used to match people with other people. So in here, with the attendees, and it will also be matching you attendees with content. So we can select that in a specific groups or specific profiles of attendees can be matched with the specific content that they would like to see, and also with products, services, and companies. So how does the artificial intelligence work? We read the information from every single attendee's profiles. And according to how the attendee is using the platform, and also all of the specificities of every attendee's profile, we will be able to match them with a specific content or with a specific attendees.
Right. Okay. Another question is a lot of event organizers are struggling with monetization aspect of holding hybrid events. So, for example, do you cater for paid registrations of delegates? Do you cater for paid advertising opportunities on the platform? And how are some of your European event organizers, generally speaking, monetizing events? Can you speak to that, please?
Absolutely. So when COVID started, we saw an increase of attendees and also exhibitors. But exhibitors and sponsors they weren't getting as much as interactions as we expected with the attendees. And this is because it is a two-way road where exhibitors have an environment where they can access all of the attendees, but they also have an active role in engaging with them. It is no longer good enough to only have a profile and just stand in front of your profile and wait for people to come and talk to you. That doesn't happen. Even in on-site events, it is super difficult if you do nothing in your stand and you wait for leads to come back at you. It's not going to be working. So it is the same. It is the same view. Exhibitors in online events, they have to be active. They have to get into sessions, talk with attendees, share content that is valuable content for your audience and for also the attendees that are going into the event. They have to do sessions where they are either content oriented or product oriented. So the attendees that are into the event that are interested on their products or on their research, they can have a contact with them directly. They can also do sessions where, for example, questions and answers, or they can also be sponsorizing roundtables where networking is based on one subject and they can be an active part of that subject and make one-on-one connections with attendees. So yes, it is true that it is not easy to capture leads and it is not easy to measure the ROI, but if you have a good platform where you can give your exhibitors and sponsors the possibility to attach and create connections to other attendees, it is absolutely possible to measure it and even succeed expectations.
Thank you. My next question to you is a little bit about the reporting statistics and the dashboard that you have. So let's say I'm an event organizer. What statistics can you show me once I'm setting up events on your platform?
Absolutely. So if we don't measure, we don't know what is happening. Yeah. We have no idea who came in, what is the content that my attendees are looking for, what should I repeat, what is not working, what can be improved. So in Swapcard, we give you first site analytics in here, where you will see which are the best session, who is the best speaker, who is the most active user, but not only users, but also exhibitors and sponsors, because if they don't engage, they can't ask you for more leads. So engagement, attendees that have made a connection with other attendees that have registered to sessions. You can see if they have used the web and also the mobile. Doing a specific Zoom networking, contacts, meetings, video calls that they have made, average duration of video calls, and you can actually select it by time. You can see the contact scoring, and this is a way to know if leads have made the right attendees for the event. So it's not only you have met 100 attendees, but you have met X number of attendees and you have rated them in 4, 3, 4, 5 stars. So we know that you're getting or meeting the right attendees. And data about sponsors, exhibitors, the speakers on the schedule. These are at first glance statistics, but in here you will be able to download several Excel files that will give you data by attendee, by person, by session, how many seconds each individual has looked at each session, how companies have interacted with attendees, and also how the content has been viewed. So you can download all of this data so we can see what is working, what can be improved, and what are the results of all of the contents and efforts that we have done pre-event.
Great. That's very useful. And there's another question from the audience, and that is, does Swapcard collaborate with other ad networks to increase the reach of event listings? Do you have partners you work with where one can share events to reach a larger audience?
So that depends. And because that depends on how do you want to enlarge. Can we be more specific about the question? What do we want to measure? What is the visibility?
No, I think he's looking more at, he or she is looking more at how event can be promoted online in collaboration with other event portals, for listings, etc. So you can get a larger audience to participate in events that are hosted on Swapcard. So I guess it depends on, there are a lot of third-party portals that I'm aware of, like meetups, etc. And I'm not sure if Swapcard already has these collaborations in place or you are planning to. But obviously, every event organizer needs to fill up a room and prove to the exhibitors that they got value for participating.
Yeah. So we at Swapcard, we don't do it. But our event organizers, they do it. They create partnerships with other event organizers to give more visibility to their specific event. We leave that to the specific organizer. We don't do it as Swapcard. We manage our platform and we manage by ourselves, Evolve, and our community and our external events that we do. With the external events that we do, for example, Confex that we did last week, we have an amazing partnership. It has already been working for 2 years. And we do is that we do mutual collaborations, mutual sessions, not only Confex, but sessions around the year. But that is how we do our collaborations. But if our clients, they want to use Swapcard and they use Swapcard and they want to promote the app or their event with other companies, they can also do it, of course.
Right. And I'm guessing that you have a mobile app already, so everything is mobile friendly?
Absolutely. Swapcard is in the web and in the mobile. We have developed the application in Android and iOS. They work amazingly. They're absolutely responsive also. So I do not have my phone with me, unfortunately, but this is the view that you will have on your phone. I invite you also to download the Swapcard app and you will be able to see all of the, for example, if you subscribe to Evolve, you will be able to see all of the content. And actually I was doing that this morning. I woke up, I opened the Evolve on Demand and I started looking for new content that we're having. So I was getting ready for my life, for work. I was looking at the content and I was listening the content as if it was a podcast. So it is amazing.
Right. Okay. Last question to you before we wrap up. What are the new features that Swapcard is working on and will be available in the next upgrade, next software or platform upgrade?
Yeah, so we're doing upgrades to the platform and we're releasing new functionalities every 15 days. That is basic for us. What do we have in the future for us? In the future for us, for 2022, we're building the platform for the whole community. It's not going to be event by event, but the idea is that you can have, for example, in here we have Evolve, and we will be able to have every single Evolve event plus a community event. This is, of course, not only going to be for Evolve, but also for our clients, where they will be able to have a fully white label app where Swapcard won't ever be appearing, and all of the All of the application in web and mobile will be only branded for you. That is one of our biggest releases for end of this year. End of this year, we're also going to have the possibility of having a recording studio in Swapcard. So at the moment, we do what we do is that we broadcast the session from YouTube, Vimeo, or an iframe, and the idea is that by the end of this year, you will be able to create your own videos into Swapcard.
Great. All right. So I want to thank you, Luisa, for an excellent presentation and for all the answers you provided to the questions. It's been really useful. It's also time for me to thank our audience for their participation. And on a housekeeping note, a recording of this webinar and also a podcast will be available later today in the afternoon on onlywebinars.com. Also want to let the audience know, and also Luisa, I want to extend an invite to you to attend our webinar tomorrow, which is at 11 a.m., same time as today. And we are talking about, it's actually a What's Next series of webinars that we do every 6 weeks. And we are going to talk about how you can build a human-centric organization. So it's a very interesting topic for today's time. And I request you all to join us tomorrow, same time, and for another engaging webinar. And for now, it's goodbye from Only Webinars. I've already put my email address on the chat. So for any inquiries, you can reach out to me anytime. And Luisa is also always there to support us in all Swapcard inquiries. So thanks all one more time. Stay safe and see you on the other side. Bye for now.